We need to have an intro before we get started because we just got to get going.
Yeah,
I can't. I'm not going to keep talking about this.
Literally, why don't we just say a joke? Like, rather than waiting for one, why don't we actually just say a joke? Do you know any good ones?
Oh, I heard one the other day. It was so funny. It was really good. I don't remember.
Great joke. that's an amazing intro. Done. Okay, let's start the show.
Well, so Paul asked, he said, hey, did you write an intro?
Just do it.
I said, no, I didn't. So Paul
just shut up and do it, Sheyn. Do your job,
okay.
or else we're going to fire you again.
This is Paul verbatim. Okay, let me get into my emo-ness here. Mountain bike podcast, mountain biking podcast, an MTB podcast about mountain biking. We talk about bikes, but in a way we don't. You never know it by the name.
Preach it.
It's the Joey Podcast. It's the Joey Podcast. It's the Joey Podcast. It's the Joey Podcast.
Wow.
It's way too long, but it's literally what you wrote, Paul.
if you maybe just cut, I know it's super emo to put 1,000 repetitions of the same line, but
dude, the search engine
amazing.
Optimization of that song alone is going to put us on the map. Sheyn, taking us to the next level.
Those lyrics were given to me by Paul, so you're the SEO master, Paul.
Paul, that has to be the intro.
Maybe there's a new word for it, like the SEO lyric or the SEO lyric way of writing. Crap. Wait, the show started. Josh, intro.
I introed last week, didn't I?
Yeah, intro again. We follow no rules.
Welcome to the Joy Podcast. We are just three regular mountain bikers talking about regular things, like the fact that it's our 20th episode. Next week, our show can officially buy alcohol, and I'm not talking about the fake non-alcoholic beer like Paul drinks. I'm talking the good stuff. Today on the show,
not sponsored by President Detroit.
Today on the show, we have the not sponsored alcohol-free beer drinker, Paul Haysom, and he sounds like this.
Hi, everyone. Long pauses.
Thank you so much, Paul. And then we have the music man himself, the one who wrote the beautiful intro you just heard. No, we did not pay a professional millions of dollars. Sheyn paid us to allow us to play it. This is what Sheyn sounds like.
Hey, I'm Sheyn, and I don't have any long pauses because I'm all about quick cuts.
Thank you. And my name is Josh, and tonight we're going to jump right in because we have lots to talk about. First things first. Gentlemen, where did we ride last week? And boy, oh boy, did I take an adventure and have one heck of a riding experience. But I don't want to start.
Yeah, can you be the headline act in this? I feel like you're for sure the headliner of this trio.
I mean, sure, of course. Like I can be. You want me to start? Is that? Oh, I have to go at the end then. Headliners.
You're the headliner. Because you're the headliner. I'll jump first. Squamish is now amazing. The weather is incredibly cold, but it is incredibly dry, and the trails are amazing. And I am stoked on mountain biking right now. And I did 4 days last week, which was a huge win. And the last day, I actually got a top 10 Strava time on a Squamish trail, which was, I know, it was incredibly mind-blowing, but it did happen.
Pamplemousse?
Yep.
Which is Squamish, like the new trail everyone's riding.
New highest trail, and who comes in with the 7th place? This guy.
Wow. And tons of people are riding that, though, right?
Yeah, like 600. And who's number 7? This guy.
I didn't know much about the trail, but since you got 7th, is it like an uphill cross-country trail?
I would die to be on a top 10 on that kind of trail, but there's no way. No, it's a black grade trail. It's kind of a black flow trail, I would say, with some tricky bits, but it's not that complicated for sure. But actually, the heartbreaking thing is that you know how there are multiple Strava segments for trails? Yeah. I'm on one of the other ones.
Oh, the one that's not like a real one?
Yeah, I'm on. It's called Pamplemousse instead of Pamplemousse. But don't worry, as you'd expect, and I hope you would wish that I do this is that I did dig in and compare myself to the real top 10.
And you're probably 100th?
No. I am still on the same day. I still rode faster than the person that's in 10th on the real one. Because I know this is complicated and really.
But would your
boring,
time be
whatever.
in the top 10 currently?
Yeah. Because their top 10 time was on the same day that I beat them on this other segment. For some reason, their ride registered both segments, but my ride didn't.
Does Pamplemousse start before or after?
No, it's just annoying. People, what will happen is that people will miss a Strava time, then they'll go, oh, well, hold on a minute, I crushed that. And then they'll create another one, and then that'll just cause confusion for everyone else. But still, I'm claiming it. Don't care. I have a trophy. It's my lifelong goal achieved.
Paul, I'll let you have that one. Now all I want to do is come ride Squamish and try to beat you, and I don't think I will because I know you've ridden that trail a couple times.
Who knows? But you'll probably beat me. Let's be honest. Let's not evade the norm here.
Uphill cross country trail. By the way, everything you said about you're falling in love with mountain biking, sunny, bright, beautiful, that was all the Instagram posts, all the messages I was getting from my friends from here in the Pacific Northwest while I was in Mudtown. And boy, oh boy, just wait. It's going to be great.
Oh,
I can't wait for the story. But Sheyn,
I just did a bunch of night riding.
Oh my God.
A bunch of night riding.
Everybody needs to stop right now. Go watch Sheyn's video.
We'll link it. Right here.
Really is just such a spectacular piece of cinematography, and that's what
was your neighbor drunk off his board, or was that just him? Oh yeah.
It was
how many shrooms had he snorted? Because that's the only explanation.
Just at the end, I was like, "Dude, you sound like my friend who does a ton of shrooms," and he was like, "Well, maybe in my youth." He's like, "And maybe some peyote." I was like, "What?"
Oh, it was just the wait. What's peyote? Forgive me.
What's peyote?
I don't. It's like a Native American.
Yeah, it's like a Native American made out of cactus. Peyote is like a flower cactus or something. But yeah, it makes like a hallucinogen that's like crazy. Like straight up like I've heard it's like the craziest trips you can ever get.
Oh wow,
that would be interesting while night riding. No, we did a bunch of night riding with friends.
Sheyn, I wish you could feel free to interview my roommate because I was on the floor in actual tears, just like belly aching, just crying with laughing at like everything about this. I was like, oh, this is nice. Like, oh, he's doing like the night in today. Like, that's great. And then just this John guy, your drunk neighbor, appearing out of nowhere. And it was just like, what?
Yeah, it would have been just like a kind of like, oh, this is an okay video, but then he hijacked it, made it an editing nightmare. I literally told Sean and Kyle around the fire, it's like, we've got 10 minutes to talk because I got to edit this down to 5 minutes. And John came over and I ended up recording like 2 hours worth of stuff.
Wait. You have to preface this by saying, like, imagine you're recording a video and your neighbor who's drunk comes over and starts talking to you and you're thinking, I got to get this done. So Sheyn, this is like shows who Sheyn is, like nice guy Sheyn. He's like, what are you guys up to? And Shane's like, oh, just trying to record a video, which is like Shane's polite way of saying, go away. I don't want you here right now. I'm trying to record a video. And the guy's like, oh, okay, cool. And then just keeps going. And I can just imagine Sheyn in his head going, this is literally everything I was trying to avoid, and yet it's just coming out stronger.
It was so funny though.
Just that end crop to reveal.
We had been talking the whole time.
You had me. It was just like
it was so awkward, and I was like, okay, we got to end this. Like, cheers, boys, and we did the cheers, and then it's like John's just been like kind of just like going back and forth the whole time, like.
Go watch Shane's video, The Crashing Dad, on YouTube. You got to watch the night riding video.
That's what I did this week. The thing is,
Kyle, Sean, and John.
You and me are going skydiving, bro.
I don't know you guys. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even live next to you, but I'm going to give night riding a try after listening to that.
That was such a good Ron Burgundy, whatever quote. Yeah, that was good.
Amazing. Anyway. Okay. And then we talk about Rainanville. Rentonville.
Should this be the first topic? Like jumping full into this?
Well, we may as well. Maybe we should say what's coming up on the show. Like, what topics are we gonna? We have topics that we're gonna discuss. Bull Rampage. Oh, totally down to talk about that. That is great clickbait that we can cash in on. Yeah. Who we really thought should have won Rampage or something like that. Or stay away from these Bull Rampage riders. Would be another great clickbait.
Dude, the jerkiest or like the worst like person. I don't know. I'm trying to think like the biggest douchebag Bull Rampage riders. People would be like, "Oh, who is it? I don't know."
Yeah, and it's like no one. They're all really nice guys, actually. Pretty chill.
We talked about that. I went and traveled through mountain biking to Bentonville, Arkansas, this like small town that's become this huge mountain bike destination for an Outerbike, the last Outerbike festival. We'll talk about what Outerbike means. And it was awful. It was fun going. I had a good time, but the event itself could not have gone worse. It was awful.
It just sounded atrocious. So, I mean, paint a picture for us, Josh.
Well, and we're going to talk about joy of the week. But yes,
did you get your Outerbike hat?
I didn't even take one. That's how bad the memory was.
So how bad you felt for them? Like, you've lost so much money. You hold on to this hat.
So we have to this is I feel like this is like podcast gold, like talking about this. So if you don't know, so Sheyn, you went to an Outerbike. Can you give us a quick, what is Outerbike?
So I went to Outerbike Cresta Butte.
How are all these hats though to hand?
They're just chilling here in my garage, but it's basically a really big demo event. They get as many bike manufacturers as they can get to come to this demo event. And they're either held at Bentonville has a crazy amount of trails right by. Moab has tons of trails. Cresta Butte had a bike park. I guess
a bike park.
Yeah, like you put a bike park. They just hang their hats on like being the biggest demo event in the world, right? That's what they say.
And that's exactly, I heard the guy because there was a lot of talking because there wasn't a lot of people at Bentonville. And the guy was talking about this is the 10-year anniversary. And it started because they realized industry professionals can go demo bikes and try any bike they want for free. And they said, what if we could create an experience where kind of like if you've seen the Bike Magazine, new bike camp, they have all these bikes they set up to try out the new ones. It's like, what if for a weekend we had all these bike companies come in, people could pay a flat fee, go demo as many bikes as they want, like all the newest bikes. So how this works, this is like a little bit behind the scenes. For like this event, you pay $210, I think, for Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's a lot of money.
But it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You get lunch all 3 days. You get as many demos as you want.
The lunches are so good too.
They have like beer,
vegan options. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get beer in the evenings. You get a hat, a water bottle. Like for instance, I don't know about you guys, but in Bellingham, a high-end demo will cost you $100 for a day.
Yep.
So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So $210 for 3 days of lunch, 3 days of beer, 3 days of as many bike rentals as you want. Like that's pretty dang good.
Yeah. You got to remember, I am just someone that has never paid to rent a bike in my life or demoed a bike. Maybe when I was at Eurobike, there was a demo day, but I literally just rode around a car park. Like I've never demoed anything.
So that shows you Paul's an uppity. And so anyway,
I'll take
he's
it.
Looking down. You peasants paying money for rentals. Don't you know you can get this for free? Drinking tea. So anyway, so this is planned months in advance. And so my sponsor FSA said, hey, we're going to go do a booth here. Do you want to come? And I said, absolutely. And so literally the weather forecast leading up to the week, sunny 72 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 9,000 Celsius,
I know that is about 25 degrees Celsius, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's 72 degrees sunny, 75 degrees sunny. And then it's I kid you not, it's 69 degrees sunny. And then the next day it's 45 degrees raining. It's what? and I kid you not, I show up on Thursday. Wednesday, the guy I'm with there, Andrew Taylor, who's another FSA athlete, posts the most amazing videos, perfect all-time conditions, flying through all these beautiful trails that are nice and dry on Wednesday. Thursday, it dumps rain all day. Friday, dumps rain all morning. It's like a light rain. It's like a light rain all morning until like 2. Saturday, the floodgates open until 2 o'clock. And then Sunday, it's like nice, but the trails are already wrecked. So I show up Thursday and it's raining, and we're all like, the 4 of us who are there with FSA are like looking at each other like, boys, this is going to be something else. And they're like, yeah, we set up today. And right after we got there, all the bike trailers, so it's like cargo vans that they have the demo fleets in, are getting stuck in the field. It's it's a big grass field that has terrible drainage, and they've experienced, and here's the kicker, Bentonville had a bike event 2 weeks before, and they got something like 8 inches of rain, like right before and during it happened. So it's like 2 weeks ago, like the floodgates opened, and 2 weeks later, now there's this grass field that isn't draining, and it's raining, and all these big vans with 2-wheel driver coming in, and it just tore up where they're coming into.
I have a couple of industry friends that were, in the driving in group, and I just saw it and was like, and you could see like one brand would queue up and then everyone would watch them and we'd be like, good luck, DG Swiss. We're all counting on you. And they would fire in and then be like, nope, they're stuck. But
may the force be with you.
Let's try.
It's kind of like, it's like sending soldiers to the front line. Like, oh, he's dead. You look at the next one. You better not mess this up. And they just keep like failing. And then like the evil guys with their all-wheel drive Sprinter van are like, what's up, boys? Anyway, so after that day, Thursday was setup day. Everyone went to Walmart and bought out all of their rubber boots. So then Friday, when everybody shows up, it's like you're wearing your riding shoes. But I kid you not, there's like 3 inches of mud in all the main runways through the tents, like 3 inches, and like water, and like it's awful. And if you take like 10 steps, like your 5 tents are going to be covered in mud, like almost up to the opening. And so literally we had to like shop at like multiple Walmarts. We finally found rubber boots at Home Depot for $20. And if you would have been a rubber boot salesman at Outerbike Bentonville, you would have been the only person who came out ahead in that whole event.
Wow.
So here's where things get interesting, right? So what people don't know is these bike companies pay money to come and demo their bikes. And not only do they pay money to be there, but then they have to, pay money to upkeep the bikes. So all these guys come in, and then Friday, it's been raining nonstop. Most of the trails are closed, and the bike companies are going, there's not a lot of people here. And if we let the bikes out in this mud, it's going to be, hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars of repairs. And so I won't say most, half of the bike companies on Friday did not send out demos.
Wow.
And some of them set up their racks full of their demo bikes
and said, you can't take them.
And the 50 people who showed up run to the booth right away. Hey, can I get this? I won't even name brands, but hey, can I get this bike? And they're like, sorry, it's just too muddy. We're not demoing today. And then some guys didn't put anything out. Some guys stood out there with one bike to show off in a tent and just said, hey, we're so sorry. But like very few companies were demoing. And then Saturday, it was even more rain. So they didn't demo that day, like certain companies did. But then Sunday, everybody demoed because it kind of, like what I heard from some of the industry guys is like guys from headquarters at their bike companies are like, you better go demo bikes. We paid money to be there. We don't want people griping that we're the only ones who didn't demo. So Sunday, the trails are still wrecked and everyone demoed.
Oh, are the trails were those trails rideable? Like wet?
No,
like your trails? Because your trails are rideable when they're wet, right?
Yeah. Well, and
it's pretty flat there, isn't it? In Arkansas?
So like this is where I said like we could do a whole podcast on Bentonville.
Keep going.
Yeah,
you're doing great, Josh. I'm enthralled by this monologue.
So great question. Are the trails rideable? First, why are there trails in Bentonville?
Hold on. Is this sounds like we're watching a Daily MTB Rider video live right now.
Let's talk about
5 things. Yeah, let's talk about it. 5 things that you need to know,
dude. So Bentonville is northwest Arkansas, right below Missouri. It's flat. There's no mountains. They have very little elevation. But Bentonville is known because that's the headquarters of Walmart. And you know it because everywhere you drive is huge industrial buildings with like the little Walmart logo, but then it says like Walmart shipping, Walmart branding, Walmart Asian food
Walmart
supply.
branding.
What? It's like the little Walmart logo, right?
Marketing.
Yeah, but seriously, it says branding on it.
No,
on
I'm
big
just
boards.
making those up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like each department has their own building.
Yeah. And it's like these buildings are like they look a half mile long, some of them. It's ridiculous. And the thing about Bentonville is you fly into the airport, and this airport's ginormous. They have these huge parking structures. It looks like you're in like LAX brand new, but they only have 7 gates. It's like it's set up for this huge infrastructure, but there's not a lot of people there. And then you drive through the city, and like everyone was joking, like, it's the Truman Show here, dude. Like everything is perfect, everything is brand new, everything is so nice, and it's because the Waltons, who came out, like literally Walmart was first there. They have the original store, and then you go downtown, it's perfect coffee shops, perfect restaurants, like perfect bars, everything's perfect. So then you hear about the trails, and you're like, how is there trails here? And the family set up, what I understand, I could be wrong on this and people will comment, a separate foundation. And the grandsons of Walton, the first guy who came up with Walmart, the grandsons who are probably our age now love mountain biking. So they set up this separate foundation, which probably means so they can get a bunch of tax write-offs. And they just basically said, we want Bentonville to be a destination for people to come and live, to work for Walmart. So let's just put tons of money into mountain bike trails. And how they do that is there are small companies, groups of guys, 4 guys up to, I don't know, 10 guys who are trail builders. And they basically say, hey, you can hire us. We'll drive down and live where you want us to build trails. And we'll come build trails for you. And so my understanding is there's like 8 trail crews that live in Bentonville all winter, 8 full-time crews of guys who all they do is build trails.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they did it because they're trying to attract a high caliber of worker, a high level of staff to their workforce. So the way that they can do that is and Bentonville, it's like, yeah, why would you come and live here?
Yeah.
But they're like, well, what we're going to do is we're going to make Bentonville like this amazing place to live. And that's, I don't think it's a tax purpose. I think it's so they can get the best people around to be like, hey, this is an amazing place to live. Like, you have no excuse not to live here.
Yeah, I think, and I totally, but part of me, like, the reason I said the whole tax thing is I'm like, they're not idiots. Like, think about it. If you're making multi-use trails, like, there's gotta be a way to, like, all that money you spend, you can write it off in your taxes. And
well, they'll get it back with better stuff. I think that's
and yes. If they get better staff, if it is a tax write-off, I think you're right. It's
a tax write-off too.
Yeah. So anyway,
I mean, it's going to come off, but I think
Yeah, but these trail crews are working, round the clock to make these amazing trails. And basically, it's like, imagine if you're a world-renowned trail builder and you like show up and it's like, well, we don't have very much elevation. All right, well, you know what we're going to do? Use our expertise and do the best we can. And so. Paul, being in a Whistler, in Sheyn, it's different there too. But like in Whistler, you point your bike downhill and you don't pedal; you just pull your brakes and just go off these huge jumps. In Bentonville, it's like, I don't think I have enough speed. Crank, 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 crank. Pop! I just barely cleared it. Crank, 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 crank. And it's like every single jump. Which to me, I'm like, being a Bellingham boy, I'm like tired, and not only that, like. I am in the highest gear. I am cranking before I land, cranking as I take off and not clearing it. And I'm thinking,
wait, you learn how to do ETs? Did I just hear that?
I wish, dude. Were you crank video?
I pedal before I land. Like that's an ET.
But here's the thing. The reason that is because they don't have as much elevation. Drainage isn't great. The dirt is like almost clay-like. There's a lot of like shale, like rocks, like flat rocks everywhere. And so when it rains, like it did here, almost all the trails are closed. The only trails that are open that I heard of was like one area called the Back 40, which is kind of cross-country trails. I rode there a little bit. And then what's called, I always forget what it's called, but it's basically like dirt mixed with glue to make concrete. It's like something soil tack. And there's like a couple downhill trails. One big one that was fun. That's like soil tack. And that's like the only trails open. And the soil tack trail is like 3 miles. It's all greenway. It's all easy riding, but it's 3 miles from the main area. So basically you're showing up. Half the bike companies aren't sending out demos. And then, hey, let's go ride. Where do we have to go? Like 3 miles that way. There's like one downhill open and it's raining on you.
And your 510s are covered in water.
And your 510s are covered in water. Is
it expensive to stay there? Like to get a hotel in Arkansas?
I don't know. My understanding is it's run of the mill. It's like maybe $90-$100 for a hotel a night.
Okay.
So.
And then who are the people like that were coming? Because that's what I'm interested about. Like, did you speak? I'm sure you spoke to them in true Josh fashion. You got to know their parents' names, their firstborn,
their social security number, their credit score. Yeah, all of it. So a lot of people that I talked to were from Louisiana, Missouri, from Bentonville, right outside of Bentonville. A lot of locals. But not many people outside. I mean, there are a couple guys who came from Michigan who flew down, like a couple guys who came from Florida, but I think most of the people were in that area.
People came from Florida.
Yeah, and it's like it's Outerbike. Like if the weather, and here's the thing, I heard last year the weather was perfect, and there was loads of people. You can get all these demos. The trails are right by that are legit. Like it's like heaven. Yeah,
I feel so bad for the organizers because, like, as you say, if there was a week before and it was perfect, you'd just be like, oh, why?
Yeah. And as like an organizer, like that's going to hurt you for your next event. You don't have as many people there, so you're not going to make as much money. Like I'm sure the organizers lost money. All the bike companies lost money. Like the people who went to get demos lost money. Like
did they refund tickets?
I don't think so.
Because you have to buy your ticket like
pretty
before the event starts. Yeah. So you've shelled out $200.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
There's probably something in the agreement, isn't there?
Yeah.
That says, like, so if there's rain, then suck it.
So Outerbike got paid by all the bike vendors, and they got paid by tickets. So they probably came out okay. It just hurt their image.
They wouldn't. Yeah, it would probably have just hurt the rep. Like, I'm sure like that's a smart way of doing an event. Like, imagine if they were like, "Oh no, if it rains, don't worry, we've got you covered." It's like, no way,
no. So it's mainly the bike companies that kind of got stuck.
Yeah, I think the people would be more like, because the bike companies, at least people can be like, hey, you've seen the bike. Like, yeah, you haven't ridden it, but you've seen it. It's the people that are like, I need to check sizing, I need to check feel, like basic setup, like, like that kind of thing.
And one of the mechanics that was running the demo fleet, who I was most impressed by his knowledge, I won't tell you what brand he worked for because I don't want Paul to get all excited.
Yay!
He was explaining. He was like, the reason this is so bad, he goes, it's not just that the bikes get messed up. It's that he goes, you watch these guys coming back from the bike wash. The demo fleet guys are telling them, please go to the bike wash because the bike's covered in mud. They are waiting in line for 45 minutes at the bike wash to get a low pressure hose. They clean the bike off, and then literally the only way to get it back clean is to carry the bike. So he goes, think about this. Your goal as a demo fleet is to provide a great experience, a bike that rides well, which is now going to shift well. It's not going to feel great. An easy process of getting the bike and returning it. And these guys are coming back covered in mud, waiting forever with 5/10 full of mud, carrying a bike frustrated. And he goes, that's bad for everyone. And I'm like, that's so true. So, and so the cherry on top was Kuat, who makes the bike racks. Is that how you say it? Kuat?
Kuat.
Kuat.
Yeah. Umlaut. The two dots above Josh are called an umlaut.
Oh, is that like Juice? Anyway, they were, this was like.
Josh. Oh yeah, Juice.
Their last event, and so they are like, well, let's give away all of our bike racks. And so they said, you know what we're gonna do? We will do a mud slip and slide contest. So they're like going around getting prizes from all the tents. They raked out like a perfect mud slosh pit, and then just like best style, whoever went the furthest, and they're giving away the coolest prizes. I was like, they won a failure of an Outerbike.
Oh, can we, Josh? You can get the Instagram up. Let's give him a shout out. That was really good. Juice, I can do a share screen.
Juice can.
I don't think
I have a Kuat. I actually really enjoy my Kuat.
Oh, Sheyn, we're not sponsored by him. Cut it out.
I've got it up here. Choose my screen.
Share the screen.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Paul.
No problems. Look at this.
Wow.
I assume there's no sound for you guys.
No, there's no sound.
Wow. But this is
lining up.
If life gives you lemons.
Is she doing cartwheels?
Oh, I think that was Sheyn from Backyard Trail Builder's girlfriend, Dana.
Oh, that's
incredible.
Yeah. So that pit is, and our FSA tent was like right behind that, and that was like where all the biggest mud was.
Oh, look, you can see them. You can see the tent right in the background there. I see the full speed.
Brought to you by FSA, not sponsored. I am. this podcast is not. All right. Anyway, so that was kind of like the whole weekend, and I got on a couple rides, but I rode 2 trail systems, and I basically rode like 3 trails because that's all that was really open. And so
you didn't do that big sender that Bobo did in his video.
Big sender. What one was? I have to watch his video again.
He had a big drop. It was pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a big drop. Sergeant Slaughter, is that a thing? Is that
was at Kohler, and all those trails were closed. I think they opened them on Sunday, but like the big stuff like that was closed.
I was gonna say, from all the videos that I've seen of Bentonville, the situation that you explained of like having to pedal and case and then pedal. All the Bentonville videos show that they're built pretty well. Like you don't need to do that when it's not horrible conditions.
I only rode a couple of trails, and the ones that were open were that style. And like,
if it's sloppy, then you just can't move, can you? Yeah.
And I left there, and my thought was like, was this weekend not great? Yes. Did the people and the chilling and having fun make it worth it? Absolutely. But like, I cannot wait to go back. Like, I want to go back in great weather. I felt like it was just like the tip of the iceberg of greatness for riding. So. Joey podcast team trip Bentonville.
I would. I do. Wouldn't that be amazing? We do the podcast. Cool. We do the podcast live from Bentonville or somewhere like that. That would be sweet.
With how the Joey podcast breaks up. Paul, Sheyn, and Josh road trip to Bentonville
in a redemption AS. Arkansas thing. Is it AS?
AR.
AR. Redemption AR.
Oh man, they are. I have heard a lot of great things about Bentonville, but then I also heard from my buddy Sean, Horns High Mountain Biking, who has gone there. And he said, "Yeah, Bentonville is great, but you're still surrounded by Arkansas and a lot of the things that are there." He said, "There's a lot of culture there that is different."
We're not going to get into racial discussions and politics, but at the end of it.
Does he just slowly look at John and be like,
"No"?
Let me tell you about Arkansas, boys.
Maybe they're trying to fix the never mind. We won't talk about anything.
So anyway, Outerbike. If Outerbike comes to your town, make sure the weather's good, and if you can do it, I think it's a great event. But be careful if it's.
Cool. It just sounds cool. I feel it sounds cool. Like it sounds like fun vibes. Like I'd like to go and ride my bike and be in a Crashing Dad daily video series.
Yes.
That's my dream for 2020.
I really like the outer bikes, but I will say, like, if you're a medium or a large, you've got to bring your own bike as a backup just in case. Because
basically, if you're a human being,
yes, because it's you basically walk. If you don't get there early and run to the booth that you want, you got to just, hey, do you have a medium? Hey, do you have a medium? Oh, you have a medium. It doesn't matter what wheel size or travel it is. It's a medium.
Yeah.
Is it really like that? Like people actually run in?
Oh yeah, people run right to the booth they want to get the rental they want.
Whoa! Yeah. I've seen. Maybe wait. I gotta go. I'm gonna go back and watch Shane's videos. Can't wait. Oh, I'm gonna have the best time
and Sheyn inspired me. I was like, I'm gonna do daily vlogs. This is gonna be awesome. And then Thursday, I'm like, nope. And then Friday, I'm like, oh heck no. And then Saturday, I'm like, maybe I'll make one vlog. And then Sunday was like, I think I have enough for half a vlog. This would be perfect.
Half a vlog.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 5 top things that I liked about Bentonville, and I'm going to use the stuff I got as B-roll. There
you go. Perfect.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Or like top tips for Outerbike.
Yeah.
Get there early.
The problem is, Sheyn, I don't have any top picks because I didn't experience.
Yeah.
What not to do?
Oh gosh, it was like I feel bad for everyone. Literally everyone. Like there was a joke hashtag going around, hashtag cancel Outerbike, because that's about all you could do.
Sad.
Yeah.
What? Who? Oh, really? Like, hopefully not industry people, because they're like ooher. But
once again, I did not say the bike brands that didn't put out demos. I did not say anything about the cancel Outerbike. All I have to say was the FSA booth put out all their demos every day, and people were literally thanking us. People were walking by like, "You're actually putting these out? Thank you." I'm like, "You're welcome."
What kind of bikes?
FSA.
What kind of bikes were FSA putting out?
We had 2 Pivot Firebirds. We had 2 Marin Trail somethings, and then we had a Gorilla Gravity Trail Pistol.
Oh wow!
No. Did it? Any new stuff? Did they have any new things that they were like showing off?
Nothing out of. I mean, they had their carbon handlebar, but besides that,
that crazy stem thing, the all-in-one doodah.
No, they are not showcasing that, but they have let that out of the bag.
Yeah, that was in somewhere, some show. It's already been at some show.
Yeah, I actually got a video of it when I toured there, and afterwards they were like, "So you saw something in your video that probably isn't." He's like, "Throw it in there. We'll see what happens." Yeah,
and nothing happened.
But no one noticed it. But like, I was like, "That's kind of cool." Like, if you like zoom in, you're like, "Oh, that's so cool. That's like very new. Cool."
I was at another industry business, and I was like, watch this bit of clip, and I was like, watch it again, and I was like, you didn't see anything. Okay.
I'll have to go back and look at the Scott videos. Paul, is that what we're talking about?
No, it's not them. No, it was your video. I was showing them your video, and I was like, do you see anything? And they're like, nope. And they're like the people that should know. So there we go.
That's great.
That sucks so much. I was actually like kind of thinking like, oh, how could I get to Bentonville? But I'm pretty glad I didn't.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't.
Whatever caused you not to go, thank those people.
Basic logistics. So thank you, Basic Logistics.
Oh, I think I know what you're. Anyway, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Sweet. Wow. What a week. Crazy week. I just can't wait. Sheyn, when is the next video? And are you gonna take John mountain biking for the first time?
Please.
After all of that, he was like, you've really convinced. I'm gonna go on a mountain biking ride with you guys. Like, I might even try a night ride.
No, dude, you've got. I'm telling you, you've got potential for like groundbreaking stuff.
He's got to be drunk though, and I can't condone that.
Just go on a bike ride with him. I bet it'll all come out. Like, just try one. Just like I took him on my first mountain bike ride. Josh will come up with a better title for it. But
I'll clickbait the heck out of that. Taking drunks mountain biking with us, slurring the words.
They survived.
Three people died.
Oh man.
It's last week's comments.
All right, last week we answered your MTB Tech questions horribly, and that was the topic. Our friend Russell Tripp, this was his first comment that he made. He said, "Okay,
hold on. Can I preface this? Yeah. These comments are massive.
Guys,
all
of the other ones didn't really have any depth.
Please help us out. Just like a couple sentences, get to the point, cut through. All killer, no filler, okay. Please." But
just saying, all the other ones didn't really have any depth. But Russell Tripp, he asked a good question. He says, "Okay, the last couple shows, you guys talked about suspension and how it's the rider, not the bike. So why does everyone with a YouTube channel have a $5,000 or more bike?" And he calls you out and Josh out. And
he calls me out for a bike I don't have. So nice
he says, "Please answer. I can't be the only one thinking this. I'm a big fan of all your channels, so keep up the good work. Thanks, Russell."
I can help you out, Russell. It's a great question. I used to have a wide range of bikes. I also work in the industry. So when I purchase them, I don't have to pay the retail price because I'm very lucky in a very fortunate position. And also my job now is to help promote brands like Scott. Thus, that's why I have a multitude of bikes and they are of a premium nature. I think that's pretty dialed. I'm going to make it up. I'm going to film an apology video. I'm ready for it. I'm going to pre-record an apology video.
It's not just you though.
Well, it's Sheyn, you go ahead and answer because your channel started on a very budget bike.
Exactly, and I commented back. I started on a $400 hardtail. I rode that for my first year and a half, while I saved up for a $3,000 aluminum bike, kind of entry level bike. And then I sold that, and I sold a bunch of other personal belongings to buy my dentist bike. And I did get a small discount on that dentist bike.
And just to clarify, you didn't buy a bike from your dentist. You bought bikes that dentists ride.
Exactly. My dentist is a Rocky Mountain dealer. I recommend you go to his shop. Okay. But for all YouTubers, I mean, Josh, we all know you're sponsored. Of course, you're sponsored, Paul. I don't know. Do you think that's the case with all YouTubers that have really nice bikes?
I think most people that have will probably get some kind of deal on it. I would say.
And yeah, let me jump in because I started my channel when I would buy used bikes. And so I wouldn't spend more than $2,000 on a bike. Not only that, I bought I think it was $1,000 entry level hardtail. Now I did upgrade it extensively. I will not deny that, to show like you can buy an entry level bike and be okay. Now here's the thing. And this is what I would reply to somebody who asked me this, anybody who asked me this. There's a point where you have trade-offs. When you go budget, you're going to pay with more weight, more problems, not
more
as good
maintenance.
Yeah, not as good suspension. But I have found like YT and Canyon at about the $2,200 mark. And there's a couple other bike brands that do make bikes at that price, full suspension. Mine being one of them, and a couple other ones I know. That way you get a suspension spec that's not going to cause you problems, brakes that stop, decent wheels, like everything's like to the point where you wouldn't really have to upgrade it. But you don't get much budget under that for a bike that's going to last 20, 30, 40 plus rides and not have more than normal maintenance. And that's the thing. You can buy a cheap bike, but you're going to pay for it in the long run.
Yeah, there's that, and I don't want to use the word, cheap in a derogatory sense, but there is a saying that, buy cheap, buy twice. Yeah. And, I personally, I ride a lot, minimum 4 times a week. And it's like on very, serious mountain bike trails, arguably. So yeah, I need stuff that's gonna last. And also I'm kind of intrigued because Russell here references a bunch of people like myself, Josh, Brian with BKXC, Mo. Those guys, all of us are pretty transparent with where we got our bikes from.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued about like, was he not aware of this? Like, I mean, where, I don't know.
Not everyone watches every video though. They might just, pop in for a video here and there and see that. So I think it's a good question.
And the bigger thing, like I felt this way out on the trails, and I realized if you've done something long enough, you save up money, you put the investment in to buy nicer stuff. And that's really the why, is like, we do this so much that we want to buy nice equipment. Yes, Paul's right. Most of us get deals, or you meet a friend who works in the industry or works at a bike shop. That's how I got my Evil. I knew somebody who worked there and got it at a deal. So that's a part of it too.
Oh, and I
think what your point, Josh, I was like, I've got something perfect to say here and I've immediately forgotten it. So I'm sorry. But I think your point of like, while it's not completely the bike, I am very much of the, things have to be set up right for you to feel confident. And that's me. And I've been, I would say that quite a lot.
Well, and I did the buy cheap, buy twice with that $400 hardtail after upgrades of all this crap that I broke. And I was like $1,200 in when I could have bought a really nice hardtail for $1,200 that I wouldn't have needed to do that for. And Josh, as you were saying, like the $2,200 mark for bikes that are going to last, I would say a year ago, that minimum was like $3,000 a year or two ago.
I might take a couple more years.
I mean, I'm just saying it's coming down to where we're getting more high performance value for less money.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll drop below 2,000 though. But
Russell, great question. Thank you. All right. Next comment. Andrew Nelson. He goes, I'm surprised oval chain rings have not caught on. He goes, I put one on my bike and he says it helps in climbing, bike acceleration. He goes on to list everything. He goes, it helps power transfer, all these areas. He goes over a normal chain ring. Basically,
Rudy climbs.
Yeah.
He basically Andrew does tick off pretty much every part of mountain biking is better because of his oval chain ring.
Well, and Andrew's comment is in here because there were, I think, 3 or 4 comments about they're the oval chain rings. You're not all about them. Yeah, I've used them on road bikes and my mountain bike. And I guess it's controversial because I'm not all about them. So.
Yeah. And my point is like some people love them and think they're revolutionary. Other people don't love them and don't think they're revolutionary. Whatever you find, like I would say, try one.
I think we got to the point where we were confused as like, it seemed to be the only thing that hadn't kind of caught on and people weren't going, oh, you have to have this.
Yeah.
If they made it oil slick or Kashima coated.
Oh yeah, oil
would
slick's the
catch
new
on.
on-trend thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? In BMX, oil slick was a thing a couple years ago, and just like everything in mountain biking, if there's a trend in BMX 2 years later, mountain biking will catch on.
Yeah, that's like
I
if there's a trend in
swear.
any industry, mountain bike catches on like a couple of years later.
But like I remember when, videos in BMX were a thing 2 years before mountain biking, and then mountain biking, everything was about video. It's kind of arguably YouTube. There were tons of BMX YouTubers.
Oh, yeah.
And then mountain biking obviously started afterwards. So yeah, I should probably go to watch some BMX, see what the trends are,
we should.
and then predict it for the future.
And 2 years ago, BMX started the trend of electronic shifting, which brings us to our next comment, Paul.
Okay, Lou talks mountain biking. Electronic and wireless shifting, he puts in brackets, are going to be absolutely revolutionary. Cleaner bikes, much easier to set up for more techie / less mechanically inclined generation, opens the doors to a million possibilities. I would like you to name all million, please, Lou. I've told you 100,000 times to stop exaggerating. You get junior shifting, edit and braking style. Not sure how. Okay.
While you're reading this, like you've had too many non-alcoholic beers. Don't read all the punctuation. Just read the words.
Okay, sorry. I should just read what's on the auto cue. You get to junior shifting the way you want on an app and choose setups according to riding without having to mechanically reach for it. No tools needed. Okay, he goes, etc., etc., etc. Sorry, there's been a bit of a tautology here.
One shifter can be used on multiple bikes.
Yep, there we go. People with disabilities, which is a great point, can now move shifters, even start a whole new way to design non-cable actuated mechanisms. More where those come from.
So Lou, I think Lou's an early adopter.
You really could talk mountain biking forever. You are living up to your name there. But do you know what? You kind of made a good point without directly making it. Much in the same way that the front derailleur disappearing has helped with bike design, I wonder if electronic stuff is going to help mountain biking design.
Like they won't have to design holes in frames and make them stronger around those holes.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to change a couple of things, like cable lengthening, which would affect gears. Is that a thing? Possibly. Yeah, like internal routing. No need for internal routing anymore because there's nothing to be routed. So frames are then solid. Like, look, Josh is just like, whoa, hold on a second.
I'm thinking like accelerometers inside chain stays to know when your suspension is compressed to adjust. Well,
they
could get nuts.
That already. That's the Fox Live stuff. I mean, obviously that would get better.
Oh, I'm talking about like shifting, like different tensions based on how tensioned the chain line is. Like you could get. Think of like the nerdy nuances, like the details that like push and pull on your bike through traveling through your travel, like and adjusting everything to that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I remember in road biking, like one of the things about Di2 shifting or the SRAM E-tap was that it was super strong and you could shift under load. So they didn't really care at first how much under load your chain was. But for wear and tear, actually would be nice if it would shift nicely and smoothly.
Excited. I would love to get on board with electronic shifting. I'd love to try it out.
Paul, it sounds like you're asking for a sponsor for the Joey podcast. As a reminder, tell your friends, sponsor the Joey podcast. All right, everyone. Thanks for your comments.
Yeah. Do you have rich friends? I actually know this other podcast. It's like, hey, do you have famous parents? Like, get in touch with us, kids. We want to meet those famous parents. And I'm pretty sure it worked.
I'm sure it did.
There we go.
Well, leave your comments. Comment something deep and thoughtful or hilarious, or the fact that my name is still Josh. Maybe you'll be featured in next week's episode. Wow, that was good. I love that prompt.
Let's do Rampage. Let's have a quick chat.
Let's finish off with Redbull Rampage. What is Redbull Rampage?
Hold on a minute, young man. We are not going to finish off with Redbull Rampage. There is still one very significant segment to come after that.
I apologize. I'm so sorry. I should be kicked off the podcast, but I know you guys will forgive me.
Okay, Rampage. Now, this is a topic that I would love to lead because typically you guys not too interested in professional racing or that kind of world. However, I didn't even put Redbull Rampage on this as a topic. So did you guys?
It was me.
It was Sheyn.
not me. It was
Okay, so while I was working on my second monitor, I totally put all the first runs on live. I didn't get to see the second runs, but I was surprised. Like, people were making it down the mountain. Last year, everyone was crashing.
I do remember that from last year.
Yeah, but this time was impressive.
Yeah, it was incredible. And the thing I think is most crazy is that they just look like they're going for a normal ride. Yeah. They look kind of so chill, and like, obviously they're not chill. They're shitting themselves, but just like, you know, they are in control. As like, they probably look like how I look on a blue or whatever, but they're riding the craziest terrain that you'll ever see in anything.
Flipping 50-foot drops.
Yeah,
that was, and we all know, like, if you make something look easy, that's how you know somebody's like the best pro in the world, is they make you think you could do something when in reality it's insanity.
Unless you watch, what is it, Andrea Lecondagui? I don't know how to say his name. Unless you watch his second run.
Technically, it's Lecondagui, but
oh my gosh,
Lecondagui.
Actually, I found a quick clip. 1 second, Josh. Let me find it, because we were watching it only today.
Don't worry, we were prepared to do this, guys. We talk about these things before we start our podcast. It takes a little time.
Oh yeah. Don't do you know what we've got really good at is this, just talking until we find the thing. Okay, I found it, Josh.
Perfect. Good job, Paul.
Screen share inbound.
Paul, thanks for being so techie and figuring out the details of sharing your screen. And yes, I'm delaying this to fill in the gap until Paul actually allows me to add it.
Oh, there we go. If only. Unfortunately, I'll try and move my mouse around so that. If these guys try and copyright claim us on this video, then they can do one, because they're just ripping Redbull footage. Anyway, so Josh, you haven't seen this?
No.
Okay, this
was during Mudfest 2019. I was trying to stay warm.
This is insanity. Okay, so let's react to it. Okay, so I'll give you some running commentary.
The head angle.
Sorry.
Go look at this on.
Right
Paul, make it full screen.
Okay.
Go watch this on YouTube right now if you're listening to our video podcast.
Does that work?
So you can,
it does work.
Perfect.
Okay, so he's just dropped in. This is partway down his run here. Okay,
just at a 450.
Yeah, he's coming in. He's gonna drop. He's gonna do a twist, and then the idea is to do a backflip, and then he goes off the trail and just starts riding the Bronco. But somehow,
so good.
Oh my god!
The rest of the run is insane too. And
Isn't
then
that insane?
That crashes at the last jump and can't get.
It's just like, just keep going.
Yeah, that is just like, that was his second run. He crashed on it. He crashed on the backflip on the first run, and he just completely death gripped it out and just rode the Bronco. It was crazy. But yeah, as Sheyn says, he crashed on the last jump. Like, he'd survived. Pardon me. He'd survived everything that could have gone wrong.
That could have been a podium.
Potentially. Yeah. Potentially. It was absolutely insane. But yeah. What else was your highlight there, Sheyn?
Okay, so for us, DJ Brandt, he's a local Grand rider. He made it down both times, which was pretty sick, because last year he did not make it down. He crashed. Even though he placed, I think, 15th or 16th, it's still like, when you're in the top 15 riders in the world that make it to Rampage, it was, we had some hometown pride. That was pretty awesome.
That's amazing. He was incredible. And then his another Fox rider, Ethan Nell. Did you see? Oh, you didn't see his second run, did you?
No, I didn't see second runs.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, maybe we should just pop this up if we get copyright. Whatever. They can have the money. But like, this dude actually rode most of his run with a flat tire. Now, this is what I have to tell you.
I think I saw the highlights.
Yeah,
it's insane.
And then John Carson's coming in. Is that it? We've got a GoPro. No, I don't want to do the GoPro. Let's do the proper one. There it is. Okay, I've got it. Like
I said, this is all pre-planned, everybody. We're just acting like we're doing it on the fly. Don't you worry.
This is why we're professionals, and it's very important that everyone understands this. Okay, there you go,
One of the
Rock
other cool,
Chalk's forks look really old.
one of the cool highlights for me was that there was the kid that got called 3 days before the event and was like, "Hey,
Yes,
the one that had to
that
drop
was
out."
insane.
And he's just like, "All right, I'll come and we'll find a line." And he did a sick. I can't remember his name.
The level of those riders is insane. I did get to watch Semenek's run, his winning run, which was awesome. I watch my fellow athlete under NS, Simon Godzink, I think is what it is.
Godziak.
He did an awesome job. Like, I got to watch a couple because I was once again at Mudfest Outerbike. But man, it's such a cool event to watch because it's just so impressive. And like, I just watch it. And like, if I did one of those drops or one of those jumps, I would be like, I'm retiring, guys. I've made it.
Do you find this stuff, both of you, do you find this stuff kind of more relative than the racing?
It's
because can you kind of be like, oh, I know what a drop is, but I don't know what a World Cup track is. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it's because it's something so beyond my level that I respect it and want to watch it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How about that? I don't know who it was, but right at the very top, front flip, casing it, and the bike just breaks in half. And he goes to get back on his bike, and he's like, "Oh!" And one of the dudes doesn't even check to see if it's okay. He's like, "Oh, we gotta hide this bike," and he's like, trying to get it out of the frame. Like,
it's a massive impact, and
would have broken anything.
The run before, he actually crashed on the same thing. The bike stayed together. So it's like, anything could have happened, but I'm just glad everyone's safe.
And the commentators are like, we're not going to talk about that, but he's not going to make it down. It's like, why not talk about it?
Because they've all been sponsored athletes and you don't want to make your company look bad.
Yeah.
But it was more like, what is that going to do for anyone because I think someone would see that and take it completely out of context.
That's true.
And then be like, oh my God, that bike brand is, they're just going to break. It's like, you have no concept of what has just happened. Like, it's gnarly stuff. But it was amazing that no one was hurt from this one.
Yeah, no one got seriously hurt. That's crazy.
No. Although, no, I take it back. There was that Johnny Solido. He ruptured his spleen in practice.
Oh,
yeah. No one got, and that's like such a gnarly thing to happen. But I think he's doing okay, which is amazing. But anyway, let's go to our favorite segment now.
Last segment of the day.
Is it you? Is it me? It's the Joey of the week.
Sheyn, great song. Every time I hear it, makes me even happier.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you loved listening to that right now.
Well, everyone also appreciated the upped in quality of recording.
Oh, I didn't have my hashtags to show. Well, okay. Moving on to Joey of the week.
You didn't have a single listener suggestion? No one's had a Joey of the week moment? I don't believe
but
that.
Did Aaron win?
Not one that they're proud enough to share.
No one shared any Joey of the weeks. If you have a Joey of the week, please let us know. You can call out a friend too. We've been allowing that.
I have a Joey of the week.
We've been allowing that. Josh,
I have one.
Okay.
I kind of have two. One of them minor. One of them I think is more. So the one I think is a little minor. I had to put on new cable housing for my shifter cable because it was just not working as well, and a new cable itself. So I measured my old cable housing length and set it up what I thought was precisely correct. And I have a bunch of the routing on my bike is external, but it has like a bunch of like guides that you have to like screw in. Mm-hmm. And I was having issues shifting when I went to Bentonville. I'm like, what in the world? I just replaced this. And one of the mechanics is like, dude, your shifter housing is so tight around your bottom bracket that every time your suspension gets compressed, your rear suspension, it's pulling on that cable housing. So he's like, I was like, so basically what you're telling me is I measured the right length. I just totally botched it up and did not create like space for the suspension. He's like, yeah, exactly. I was like, okay. Kind of Joey move, but the Joeyest move is Andrew Taylor, who's a great guy. He makes a couple YouTube videos. He works with FSA. He was in Redbull Rampage 2 times, was huge in Joyride. I knew that about him before I met him. And then he proceeded, we got to know each other, and the Joey moment was
you were like, oh, so you mountain bike? He's like,
Yeah, talking to a professional mountain bike athlete, who's a YouTuber who has like people randomly like, can I take your picture? Can I take this? And he's like, what in the world? And then he like starts talking to me about, oh, dude, can you believe this pro did this? And I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, oh yeah, what about this guy getting into Rampage? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, do you have any idea who I'm talking about? I'm like, no. And he said, yeah, there's one pro making YouTube videos. His name is something Bear Claw.
Down Bear Claw.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, he's like making videos now. You know who that is? And I was like, was he a professional athlete? And he's like, yeah, he was, man. Andrew's like the nicest guy. And I'm like, if it was any other pro rider, they'd say, this is the dumbest guy I've ever met.
No, dude, like I'm the same way with you. Like, I just find it funny that you don't know. I don't go like, oh my God, what an idiot. I just find it like more fascinating that you don't.
Like, how can you not know these huge names? Yeah.
Yeah. I think my favorite one was when I was like Brendan Fairclough and you were like, who's that? And I pull up Netflix and I'm like, look, he literally has a movie on Netflix that's in your TV. And he's
that's
like,
probably why we're not getting more viewers, guys.
never seen it.
But the thing about the people that are coming to like Outerbike or these mountain bike festivals is they know more about you, Daily MTB, than they do about I can't remember. I'm trying to think of a pro.
You're literally making the point. You realize
fair.
The thing that I think about all the time is when we were in Sedona, me and RC at a restaurant, we had a dude come up, hey, you're the Crashing Dad and you're outdoor guy. And then he was like all fanboying on us. And then he was like, do you know who that guy is? Just 2 tables over. And apparently it was Richie Rude. I had no idea. It was like, oh, okay. And Richie Rude and his table were looking over like, who are these people? Like, why is this guy all over these people? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they were. They were probably just like, cool, I'm going to carry on eating now. I don't think it's that big a deal for a lot of people. There's probably a couple that have like ego things and whatever, but no, I don't think Richie's like that. He watches my videos. I think
did he comment on your video?
No. But in the video I did with Remy Govan, the like how much faster pro men enduros, like I managed that Remy left the camera on and I heard him talking to Richie and Richie's like, yeah, I watch a couple of his videos. And then I made a big deal about it in the video. Like, are you subscribed like Richie Rude, world champion? And then funny enough, as I was editing the video, I saw Richie that night because he was staying with Remy or I think something like that. Probably not staying with him, but they were. And I went up to him and went, "Oh, I didn't realize you watched my videos," and we had a good laugh about it.
And then you failed to get a soundbite from him.
No,
that was
not Richie.
I know every pro that you have failed to get a soundbite from for the podcast.
I could try
you to become legal drinking age with us next week. We need a soundbite from a professional that dummies like us would know.
Okay. Okay. How about this?
Aaron Gwynn.
That's gonna be impossible. You're like,
Paul,
it's Aaron Gwynn or it's nobody. You
this
hear
is
me?
like Dumb and Dumber. You need to totally redeem yourself right now. Figure it out.
I could get like, okay, but it's hard because you guys don't know most of them. Okay.
I know Seminuk and I know Gwynn, and I want one of the two.
2 people that are least likely to ever do that.
But they're known by everybody, Paul, and you had an opportunity and you let us.
What about Johan Borelli?
Johan Borelli?
Dude, his accent would be sick on this
podcast.
Hey, so what do you guys think? Have you, by any chance, have you had the time to catch my newest video from today with Cam McCall?
Yeah.
Who is another pro freeride mountain biker.
Really cool.
I highly recommend his YouTube videos. They're pretty hilarious. And there was this one that was like, he was out riding with some kids. They didn't know who he was. And he's like, do you have a YouTube channel? And Cam's like, yeah, I'm thinking about starting it. And he's like, I'm still. And then they're like, do you want to follow us down this jump line? He's like, yeah, sure. And I think he like goes down and maybe does a bar spin or something behind them. And like, it's pretty funny.
Oh man, that's awesome.
He's great. He's also a dad, Sheyn. And
nice. Josh. I can relate to that.
There you go. I highly recommend it.
Mick what?
Cam McCall. I subscribed. You said I should check it out, so I subscribed to his channel.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. As
Cam McCall.
There's also a great video with Geordie Lunn in it, who sadly passed away the other week, which was pretty heartbreaking. And there's Geordie's being Geordie, which is great fun.
We will link Cam McCall's channel below.
All right. Anybody else have a joy moment so I don't feel so alone?
Actually, guys, I've just been perusing the comments, and I think there's this one nomination just here. The user is never seen them before, but the Crashing Mum. Fun fact:
one? What?
Sheyn usually podcasts in his undies because you could only see waist up. This particular session, he went out into the garage in some grey pajama pants. You can see them early on. But you'll notice at 47 minutes and 27 seconds, when he gets up, he's wearing something red, not grey. Pretty sure he took his pants off. Did you just show your pajama pants in your hand?
Oh, yeah. I left them on the garage floor from last week. They're just
Is it you? Is it me?
Yeah.
Shane's pantless this week.
Yeah. Of course. Who wears pants when they podcast?
Oh my gosh, Shane.
Oh my God.
For you non-visual viewers, that was Shane's butt with his hands.
That was a butt slap.
Oh, wow. Hey, do you know, actually, before, we can't let this lie either. Our friend here, Josh, get ready to share screen. Our friend, I'm being super professional as ever. Josh, I'm sure you can speak to being professional.
I know many professionals in the mountain bike industry.
Yeah.
One
For
of
example,
which we could have had a soundbite by
Aaron Gwynn.
Unfortunately, some guy messed it up. But do you know what I'm not going to mess up is this segue into sharing my screen from a young model that has just popped up onto the screen. It's going to be said, this is our friend, the Crashing Dad. Please don't glitch. Perfect. Our friend, the Crashing Dad, and the Crashing Mum in their first commercial models.
and the Crashing Kids too.
And the Crashing Sister. The Crashing Sister and the Crashing Brother.
Yes.
Look,
Did you guys actually go camping, or was this all just for the shoot?
We went camping. Yeah.
What actually did? Oh, I mean, is that really his child's toy?
Yeah.
That's what. Oh, it really is.
It's his puppy.
Oh God, the acting in this, Sheyn.
We will link this video below.
You have
Shane,
to
explain. Just give us a 30 second.
No, look. Oh, can you believe it? Sheyn. Oh, finally you can light a fire. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I just love everything about this video. I realize for audio listeners, this is really turning into quite the mess.
They did a really good job on this video. It's a local clothing company that, and we have a friend.
Quick question. What? Oh, come on, computer. Let's go. Oh, no. It skipped past the thing I was trying to watch.
What are they looking at?
Yeah. What are you pointing at here, guys?
So we are doing this thing where they're like, we want you to point and look at something.
Your son is like,
we pointed to look at something,
this?
And our kids are like, what are you guys pointing at? We had to be like, oh, look at that. And our kids were like, what? There's nothing up there.
Your son's face. That's my face when someone says, do you know who Aaron Gwynn is? Huh?
Oh, yeah. Look at your boy. That is just incredible.
He's so cute.
It looks like your daughter's just like, oh God, I hate my family.
Why are we acting?
Shane, are those vegetarian dogs?
They are. They're tofu dogs.
Great stuff. Huge fan.
Oh yeah.
And then I love this. Just my life is ruined if I don't have mittens. So it's great that this jacket has mittens built in. And I was like, can't argue with that. That shot is absolutely fantastic.
Isn't it insane? Oh,
everybody. Is this where you live? This. So Shane, describe it. It's your shot. You're in it.
Oh, it's not my edit. It's done by professionals. But yeah, there's a local camping place just 10 minutes away from us. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Right now we're looking at, I brought a telescope.
That's your telescope?
Yeah, that's my telescope.
Who owns a telescope?
I had a 15-year anniversary at work. They gave me a catalog.
All right, guys. Anybody else have a Joey of the week? I don't know if this is Joey as much as just cute.
No, but we just had to talk about it because I'm just so proud.
Yeah.
Sheyn and the Crashing Mum and the Crashing family and all.
I actually have that jacket right here.
Oh my God. Hold on. Product placement now. Whoa. We've given the shout out. Let's keep this value.
That one was a commercial. Total commercial.
Oh, brilliant. It's so good though. It was just the acting in it. You're natural. Please, more.
I needed to be on the Disney Channel growing up. Darn it.
Okay. Well, did I do anything Joey mountain bike related this week?
I really don't call for Joey of the Week for still not getting a soundbite from Aaron Gwynn.
Okay, that's old news. We've already done this joke. I don't know. No, I'm completely scot-free. Hey, my mountain biking suspension development.
Wait, you're scot-free? Did you switch brands?
Oh, great. Wait.
I'm going to take that soundbite and I'm going to pass it on to your sponsors. I'm scot-free. How could he?
No, I'd say my suspension setting up is I'm reaping the benefits of spending all this time doing it. So I'm excited. Shake your head as you like, Josh. You can suck it. Okay, Sheyn.
I didn't really. I'm gonna give it to. Why did I forget his name? I'm gonna give it to my drunk neighbor. The nomination.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he was like, "Yeah, man, this topic you guys are talking about. Oh, I'm not even a writer, but yeah, you got to try it. Even if we only try it once, it's a whole new world." You could see the world in a whole new way. Yeah.
Was he talking about shrooms at this point? Because that is exactly.
Well, I'm going to give it to him.
Let's just go. Great ending. Amazing ending.